Oh wow, this is exciting. I promised in other blogs and another channel that I have that I was going to talk a little bit about my cars. And the first one that I want to talk about is my Porsche. It's it's not a real Porsche per se. It does reproduction. And over time, for some reason, these cars have gained a lot of credibility. This particular one I bought out of Los Angeles. It was a basket case. It was in a very bad place mechanically, and I've done some improvements on it. I had to because I just love the car. This car was made by a recognizable brand called Beck. So let me switch it around so you can actually see. Look at that. Wow. I think the rear end on these cars is just striking. It's long. It's iconic. The view from behind, I think, is equally as beautiful as from the front. The side profile, sometimes depending on the stance, can look like it's a little squatty, or sometimes if it's not balanced correctly from the front to the back, it can look like like its haunches are down to the ground. Look at this. Look at that. Look at that. Isn't that beautiful? Wow. Now the hood's a different color because I had an accident. I ended up hitting a deer where I live. Where I live, I live on property and I live out in a rural area. So these deers, they're coming out and they're doing their thing. Can't blame them. Did I get upset? Yeah, well, and I was only doing about maybe 30 miles an hour. And this is something to understand when it comes to fiberglass. It does not hold up well, does it? This is fiberglass. The body's fiberglass. These cars came about because people loved the look of this car so much. And Mr. Beck, I believe, was the first one to create a reproduction. Now, why are his the ones that everybody wants? And I'll show you real quick. We won't get into the whole specs of this car just yet, but look at this. See this right here? This is a whole tube chassis on a fiberglass. Now, the whole underneath of this car has an aluminum pan that's been riveted to all of the subframe, which is, I think, 3-inch tube. And what that does is it creates a stiffness to the body. Well, because it's the way it's designed to be. Look at that. Now this one, the tachometer's kind of a little off. The tank for the fuel is a little off. The speedometer's off. And I'll tell you right now, it was just a nightmare before I even got it. So I'm gonna give you a quick glance of what the wiring looks like right now. And you're gonna say, wow, that's just incredibly, looks like spaghetti. Well, yeah. Before I was able to mount the relays on that little aluminum crossbar that I fabricated, which was a really simple solution. I like simple solutions and elegant solutions. The wiring was all hanging. Whoever had this car before just did not show it any love. And I get frustrated with that because these cars, they're really special cars. I'm gonna get into the hood here, or the engine compartment. So I'm going to load this video up and then I will get into the engine. Well, one more thing. I'm telling you, I love this car. I love everything about it. And I feel privileged to have been able to find one. I bought this car at a time when they were just starting to go up. And even though it's got some problems, I still love it. It's one of my simpler cars. But let me load this up and we'll get into the engine compartment because you got to see what this looks like.